own him now, by the way.
I mean, kind of, sort of.
Fully, completely, unequivocally.
Inexplicably?
Dead ass, I mean.
Yes, dead ass, on God, no cap.
Oh, I said that ass.
I need a translator. I need a translator quickly here. What does that mean?
Miss me with that drivel.
I know what that means. All right. Get him out of your system if you're going to get him out of your system, because here we go.
Let's
I'm
go.
keeping him in the system. I'm going to burn him like fuel, Brad.
All right. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war, and tonight I'm going red. Hang on, I'm going to redo this. I'm going to turn my game down a notch.
Oh my God. You were not going red. You're fine.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Oh. Well, why is... Fuck you, Yeti, going red on... Oh, I'm not looking at... All right, here we go.
Do you know you can download an app to change the colors, and then you'd never go red?
Brad,
Ooh.
Just saying.
does it not work for you if we don't start the show with fuck yous? You just start
He asks
stumbling?
for it. It's kind of getting weird. Like,
I mean, as you can tell, he just clearly starts stumbling over things
just
like immediately.
I get what I need.
I'm so used to hearing "fuck you, Brad" that it just kind of throws me for a loop. But on that note, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war, and tonight there is only Warhammer. Welcome to the Tainted Hive, the first season of our Warhammer 40,000 Imperium Maledictum podcast. I'm your GM Brad, guiding our ragtag group, and joining me today, as usual, are Alex, Eric, Mike, and potentially Justin. We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Man, it feels nice.
I mean,
to
he
not be the
joined.
one on the chopping block.
Let's see if I'm immune to bullet holes.
He's here, but how long will he be here is the question. All right. Well, with that, gentlemen, we are at episode 15 of the Tainted Hive, and we're going to jump right into it. Last time in Rokarth, last time on the Tainted Hive, as you had, we're gonna kind of recap 13 and 14 here, just to bring everything back to speed after our little break. We had Dmitry throwing a frag grenade into the bar that exploded everywhere, crushed a bunch of the Valathi knives, wounded dozens, left smoke and ruins, and managed to hit a portion of the floor in a weakened space that actually caused the floor to buckle and kind of create like a little bit of a crater.
some say untold property damage.
If the property values of that area are worth anything, they're not anymore.
State Farm's going to have their hands full for quite some time.
And they're going to be cold while they're doing it.
What's the Warhammer equivalent?
That's right.
to State
That's
Farm?
right.
Dude, Dimitri's going to be that dude riding the tricycle that's all jacked up in the road. That's I don't know what commercial
Mayhem?
it is, but that
Your
dude,
nickname is now Mayhem.
I mean, it's fitting. It's fitting.
You going to give me another
It is.
grenade, bro?
We'll find out. We'll find out. So that entire episode was a bar fight, an explosion, and Roderick running while never reaching his destination through the greatest Monty Python-esque montage we've had. And as we opened and we went through episode 14, Dmitry and Quentin, you had set an ambush in an alley as you ran from the bar as well, where Rigel and his men turned a corner into this perfectly set choke point, and you managed to just kill Rigel outright. The Valathi knives who had been pursuing you said, "We don't want this smoke," and elected to kind of fade away, not continuing to pursue you, and you let them go. Roderick's Monty Python-esque montage finally ended as he caught up to Mordecai. And Mordecai, you had been up on the upper levels in the actual Mudgate, so back up on that first level of the hive, following the Aragon as he was trying to again sell gratis, and you were trying to track him down and see where he was going, what he was doing. You saw that corrupted, corroded, worn and beaten ship kind of land, and four figures get out, kill Aragon, and they then proceeded to basically see you as well. After a bit of cat and mouse and you trying to hide, smoke grenades, crates, movement through the area, unfortunately, they found you and they chased you as you ran towards the gate. And as they got to you, as you remember, they walked away. They said, "Nope, we're good. We don't want this." Roderick caught up to you You two discussed this and then elected to follow them. And as you took aim, Mordecai, and as you decided to maybe take one more shot, you did. But your gun pointed towards Roderick instead, as someone or something grabbed the gray matter of your brain and forced you to shoot at your own compatriot.
It's possible that I just let the intrusive thoughts win. He's been bothering me for a little bit, so
such an excellent reference. All right, so here's what's going to happen. First and foremost, as we got off podcast last time, off session, we did mention that you guys had all been awarded some experience for story completion, excellent role play, and just advancing through Chemical Burn. Real quick, before we actually dive into the gameplay itself, what, if anything, do you guys want to share about what you did with it, or if you're banking your experience? And I'm going to go around the horn. So, Dmitry, you first, sir. Are you banking it or using it?
Banking.
Okay. Mordecai, did you decide with banking it? Roderick?
You know, I was going to bank it, but thinking about what's going on and thinking about how hard it was to get away before, I'm going to put one advance into athletics. Just in case I need to get out of here.
It's a great call. All right. And Quentin, how about yourself?
I am taking the Psyker talent with specialization into telekinesis.
Okay.
And I'm grabbing a power with it that I will share later. I've already told you out of game.
We had to chat about it, but I'm glad that a little secret's not a bad thing. And you were able to do that because obviously you banked the first 50 you guys got. So that's excellent.
Correct.
All right. So as we open on today,
it's ominous.
It's terrifying.
I don't like it.
Ominous is
Stay
good.
tuned to see how
Unless
Eric
you
breaks the game again.
Right. Unless you took a psychic power to stop Mordecai from killing me. That'd be great.
I mean, in a way, it could stop him.
I don't like the way you phrase that, man.
Could.
Sounded like
fine.
you phrased it like tentacles.
maybe this is Quentin just trying to kill you. Sick of being called quinoa.
Tentacles going.
I'm just saying.
those that don't
bullshit,
Talk about
man.
killing you, not
Mike does
Roderick.
like to break bread with tentacles.
Oh, come on. Come on. This is family friendly.
No, it's not.
What family? What family are you talking
Manson
about?
family.
The
I don't
Addams
want to meet
family,
that
of course.
family.
All right. So as we actually so to bring us back full scope and get off of tentacles, as we left off last time, Mordecai, you had.
Did you just say get off with tentacles?
He did.
I did not, but that is now going to
did.
live rent free in this episode. Well done. Oh, geez.
Let no one ever say we don't have fun.
Brad, chill.
I gotta tell y'all, I ran into a buddy of mine yesterday, and he looked at me. He goes, "Oh yeah, I stumbled on your D&D thing." I go, "My what?" And he's like, "Yeah, your D&D page." I go, "I don't know what you're talking about. Like, are you talking about my painting Instagram, or are you talking about Dead Sons?" He goes, "You guys were talking about eating dead bodies," and I went, "Oh, you're talking about Dead Sons." He goes, "Found your podcast. I love it." I'm like, "All right, man, this is great." He said the same thing. He goes, "You guys sound like you have a lot of fun. Just wait till he hears."
Speak of eating bodies. Yeah.
Wait till he hears about this
common theme
episode. All right. So to bring us back to where we were, Mordecai, you took the shot at Roderick. You caught him by surprise. And so you automatically had a critical strike upon him. Roderick, you you burned, I apologize, permanently reducing your fate to negate all damage. And what we're going to do right now is, Quentin, you have begun to, and Dmitry, you two are making your way to the lift to try to make your way to this encounter that's happening up here. Mordecai.
Are we? Because
Are we?
last I checked, Dimitri was wanting to save Frat Boy.
Oh, that's
Ragu.
right. You were trying to save Ragu.
I will say, though, if Roderick or Mordecai even little bit telepathically tell us like what just happened, like if Roderick just kind of pings us,
Mhm.
Quentin's immediately going to take off running towards the lift.
Okay.
I don't think I
So
would
far,
have
they
been
haven't
able
told
to
you this
even.
part.
I don't know that I even would have been able to control my thoughts. I probably would have said it in every way possible just by reflex of, "What the fuck, Mordecai? Why did you shoot at me?"
So, yeah,
Then
I mean,
at
I
that,
think
that prompting Quentin's immediately taking off, leaving Dmitry and heading towards the lift.
As
Okay.
soon as that happens, I'm probably telepathically something is happening in my brain
Well,
because I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. So before we dive too far down this rabbit hole, really quickly, we are going to continue in initiative order because of everything that's going on. So just to make sure I have these initiatives still correct, Roderick, your initiative did not change. It's still an 8, correct?
Yeah.
Quentin, you did not change as well. You remain at a 7, correct?
Yes.
Mordecai still at a 7 as well with a 44 reflexes.
Yeah.
Okay, and Dmitry, that means I know you didn't take any advances either, so you're staying at a 5,
No.
I believe. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to stay in initiative order. So we've got 8, we got Roderick. 7, we've got
I also
Mord.
want to
7.
point out, if we ended the round for Mordecai, or his turn,
We're
I
about to
believe he
get
has
there.
to make a test.
Correct. We're actually going to start on that test, which is why I said hang on before all this mental chatter happens. We got dice to roll. So, Mordecai, at the end of your turn, you took the shot. Roderick spent the fate point. We went to black. As we start on today, it is the end of your turn. What I need for you to do is I need you to please, again, try to make that hard -20 discipline psychic test.
It's a free action to drop my gun, right?
It is. You, however, don't have control of your actions at this point in time.
Well, I guess that was my follow-up question.
Yep. It's a great thought.
All right. What exactly am I rolling?
So you're rolling a hard -20 discipline psychic specialty test. You won't have psychic, but
Guys, I'm screwed. Willpower is my lowest stat by
I
far.
You're still screwed.
It's a -3.
-3. Okay, so with a -3 fail, you manage to spread that quick telepathic piece of someone's in my mind, and that's what Quentin, you begin to go running on your turn.
Bro, I have to roll a 2. On a hard test, I have to roll a 2.
Nope, you have to roll a 5 or less, because anything less than a 5 is an automatic success. Remember that.
Oh, yeah, true.
You at least have a 5% chance, not a 2% chance. So there are other ways that this can be broken, but right now, yeah, it's not looking good for you. So, Quentin, it would be your turn in initiative order. At this point, you get the psychic message. What would you like to do?
I'm hauling ass. I'm flaring out messages to Dmitry saying we need to get up there now. Forget that dumbass. And using my action to just run as fast as I can to the lift.
Okay, what I'd like for you to do is go ahead and make me a routine +20 athletics test just to make sure that you don't stumble and trip and fall.
You said +20?
+20.
+0 because of the +20.
Okay, +0 is
Thank
good. So you go racing off and you fire off that message to Dmitry of like, fuck him, let's go. And as you take off into the street, you realize that with it being, after like late evening at this point, it's like mid-evening. I was going to say late afternoon and early evening combined, and I just said late evening. It is mid-evening at this point, so it's just past the dinner hour. People are in the streets, so you're doing the rushing through a crowd, like swimming and ducking and swerving to get around people at this point.
If before I guess use my action then to make a run,
Okay.
I am actually going to then use my action to cast Dread Presence.
Okay. All right.
Sounds bad.
Sounds dreadful.
It's pretty amazing, actually.
All right, so that's going to be a +1.
Wait, do me a favor. Walk me through Dread Presence. Is that a petty or is that a telekinesis?
It's a minor.
Okay.
One. You invoke
Petty,
the warp's
minor.
terrifying nature to exude dreadful presence, inciting irrational fear in enemies near you. I guess it's net enemies. Would that even work on people?
You could.
It sounds petty.
So you could theoretically have that work on people, but considering you are shrouded, basically impossible to be seen. You have a 10 on your sight test. Nobody's going to know you're really there. I'm going to say no. I wouldn't waste your psychic charge on that because
Okay, then I'm not
you
going
would
to
know
do
enough
that
to realize
then.
that like it'd work on general people, assuming they could even percept you. But right now, no one does.
All right, then I'm just going to keep running then.
Okay,
I
so yeah.
didn't realize it was the enemies. I thought it was just anyone.
You swim, you duck, you dive, you duck, dive, dodge, and dodge. So you make your way through the crowd like that. What, Alex? You are just on one tonight, man.
You 100% said dick. But moving on.
I definitely said dip, but who? If I'm blending things together, who knows?
We'll play it back. We'll see. Anyway.
All right. On that note, Dmitry, it is your turn in the order. You have Ragu in front of you. You did use your Chirurgeon's kit last time and did stabilize him. He is healed. He is not dying at this point. Quentin has said, "Fuck him, let's go," and has gone running. What would you like to do?
Okay, well, mine's made up. Turns out this is refundable, and I'm going to loosen the clamp on that artery, and then I'm going to take off running.
Oh my god.
I love
You
that.
made me do this, Quentin. I was trying to save him.
I'm okay with that. He was going to kill him anyways.
So
Turns
You
I
have
wasn't
your
going to leave my
refundable.
clamp. Like, what the fuck?
The clamp is worth way more than
You know
years.
Brad was going to charge like 500 solars for a new one. And miser.
your Chirurgeon's kit has 5 uses. You were down to 4 either way, but all right.
Do I get my use back?
Nope. You already used it.
Okay.
So as you've stabilized this guy and clamped the artery in his leg and cut the bleed that he had suffered from his criticals, you undo the clamp. The artery begins to gush, and as you are leaving, he is passing out again. He's already
just turn
unconscious.
the
but
faucet on as you walk away.
he's just passing at this point.
They call us the wet bandits.
What I was thinking too.
Oh man, I was just thinking back. Last episode, yeah, you were healing Rigel, and you refused to let them take Rigel, but they took the other one that you guys harmed and carried him away, right?
We didn't harm anyone else.
No.
Oh, it was that they were going to try to take Rigel, and that's right. You said, Dmitry
Drop
said,
him, yeah.
drop him, yeah, that's right. Okay. So yeah, you unclamp him, Dmitry, and you take off as well. Are you running as well?
Sure.
Same average, same routine plus 20 athletics test.
+1.
+1. So you watch Quentin take off through this crowd where no one sees him, so he's doing the swim and the dive and trying to stay out of people's way. You don't need to take that much. As you go running off, you are covered fingers to elbows in blood. And as you're running after him, people are getting out of your way
Fuck yeah.
because they see you. So you take off after him, and we end up there. Okay. Next
I just
up,
realized I need to do something next turn. Damn.
at the top of the round, it would be Roderick, but it's not.
But why not?
Because there are people who have higher initiatives than you.
Those
Shenanigans.
fast bastards.
Okay. All right. So they are going to do. All right. So you don't see anything, Roderick, at this point. You have basically taken a glancing blow. The bullet would have struck you in the head, but you turned at the last second, and I think we said it grazed past your head as you burned that fate point to take no damage, and the God Emperor blessed you with a little saving grace there. As you turn, you see Mordecai, aiming down the sights at you still. Has not changed. The other people, though, Roderick, quick, give me a difficult -10 awareness sight test, because Mordecai has captured your attention. We're going to make this a little tougher, but we're going to see if you see what this guy's doing.
That is an 11 on the die. And that'll be, my skill is 45, so out of 35, so +2, right?
+2. Okay. So you actually do see out of the corner of your eye as this person, one of these two people that you guys had been following, the one that didn't magically disappear in the blink of an eye, has turned back to the Mudgate, to you, and to Mordecai.
Cute.
With an 11, with a success like that. How many success levels was that again?
2.
Okay, with a standard success, you see as he turns, and as he does, his cloak billows open a bit. You see the chain axe at his hip that Mordecai had seen, but he doesn't reach for that. Instead, he reaches for a small square parcel, 10 inches long, 5 inches wide, tan in color with a single red tube running up the center. And he begins to walk towards you while picking it up. And you watch as he rips the debt tape off of a blasting charge and hucks it at your space.
Fuck. Does he have to do a test to huck that of any kind?
It's going to be a check because it's going to be a ranged ballistic check. So he's going to make that right now.
Is he close enough to hear me right now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's the equivalent of 2 zones away. So this has a thrown, it's a thrown weapon. It has a medium range, so he can throw it medium distance, which is 2 zones away. So he's not, he's not super far. What?
Medium's not 2 zones away. It's the next zone over.
It is.
Oh, you are correct. I misread that. So, well, then I guess he's going to move even closer than he was. So instead of not moving, he's going to walk into that zone then.
He can throw it at a longer range. You just had disadvantage on that.
No, we're not going to do that. He's not that stupid. He will walk into the zone then and advance 1 zone closer before hucking this. But yes, he does have to make a test.
I would like to use my distracting talent at this point, seeing what he's about to do. And I am going to shout at him, "Oh, your cockles are hanging out. Does your mother know that that's small?"
Remind me again, distracting talent, I know it gives him disadvantage. Is there a limit on your usage?
I can only do it once per encounter.
Okay, this is technically a new encounter from the last time that you used it. So,
it's all right, very
so he's
long
going to have
time
disadvantage.
since I used it, so
yeah, you used it against the not the knives.
Remember,
Day
both
1.
me and Dmitry have distracting at this point.
God.
So
This is going to get confusing. I'm going to need reminders of who used it when, I'm sure. All right, so you're going to use your
We'll keep
distracting
track
talent.
for you, Brad.
Yeah. Brad side eye.
If listeners could feel the side eye that is coming out of me right now. Okay, so he's going to get disadvantage. I'm just going to quickly check the...
Yeah, I'm checking the rule on it too.
Oh,
Can
not
use
that.
this
You check
talent
that.
once per encounter to interrupt another individual making a test, imposing disadvantage on their test. In combat, this talent is used as a reaction.
Okay. Well, then, we're going to do this. Here we go.
I gotta say, I do love that the system has reactions.
Well,
Agreed.
that's going to be a failed test, so he's going to spend...
Blows himself up.
No,
Yeah.
he's going to spend a fate point and reroll.
He has fate? What?
The main character?
Apparently.
Okay, that's better. So, with this advantage, he will still succeed with a +0 success levels. So he takes this blasting charge and he throws it. Roderick, this thing lands at your feet. Blasting charges, so just so y'all know what they do, they are a thrown exploding weapon. Let's see. Blasting charges designed for mining operations are bulky tubes filled with compact explosives. Think like a pipe bomb. They are great improvised explosives, and what's going to happen is as they blow up, they have a limited radius. So it has the loud trait, the spread trait, and then the thrown and unstable traits. Now, the one I need to check really quick is unstable, because that might help you.
Yeah. That means if you fumble, it blows up in your face, basically.
Yeah.
Perfect. He didn't fumble, but loud, very obvious what that does.
I'll say this. I don't want to hash this out right now, but I do want to talk at some point after about whether re-rolling a failed test that you already had disadvantage on should also be rolled at disadvantage, since one of the spent fate is to gain advantage. Maybe he should have had his spent fate.
It was re-rolled
the
at
second one was at
disadvantage.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just.
This was quite literally the luckiest. This was the luckiest roll I could have done. Both his first and second rolls, the single digits die was a 0. So
double.
I failed the first one, and the second time he just barely passed. Where even at disadvantage, it doesn't get any worse than it is.
Roger. Sidebar complete. I'm fucked.
Yep. So spread. Here's what happens with the spread trait. Okay. The spread trait is that all creatures within immediate range of the target other than the attacker must make a challenging dodge test or suffer half damage from the attack. So basically, you're taking damage and everyone around you would take half. If the weapon has the spread trait and it could gain it in another way, creatures within the immediate range who fail the reflexes test suffer full damage instead. So all creatures within immediate range of the target other than the attacker. That's not great, buddy. Here's what's going to happen. This thing lands at your feet. You look down.
Oh, dear.
And the space around you erupts in a plume of fire and smoke as this like improvised bomb just blows up at your feet. You are going to suffer 10 damage.
Okay. Is it?
And he has.
Are there
he
any
is out of blasting
criticals
charges
on this, or is it just wounds?
No. It was a straight. Because I rolled a 0, there's no crit on the ballistics test. It's just wounds.
Does armor work at all for this?
Do you have armor?
I do. I have some kind of armor that I haven't had to look at yet. I have flak
you should
vest.
look at that now. Okay, so your flak vest will help decrease
skin.
the armor. Okay, so flak vest and synth skin gives you what level of armor?
So
And
I
what body
flak
parts?
vest. Flak vest gives me 3 armor on my body. Sin skin gives me 2 armor on my body, arms, and legs.
Only the sin skin is going to count then, because this is blowing up at your feet.
Okay.
So your legs are going to suffer the damage.
Got it.
Technically, your whole body would, but the way that this is kind of landing will say that.
I will also note that the flak vest says I get a +1 against blast and spread explosives.
Okay, well, this is both. So you can add that +1 then, so take the 3.
Okay.
All right, on that note, that means you're going to take 7 damage. You
Ouch,
are
but
propelled
I'm okay.
backwards. Yep, you're propelled backwards. This is a true, like, mining explosive. So this one actually does crater the ground. Just, thunk. Not heavily. You're not looking at, like, a 10-foot deep crater or even a foot deep crater, but there's an impact, a dent, scars across the steel and concrete. As this blast goes off, this guy has taken off at a run.
Which direction?
Back towards his ship.
Oh, okay.
So, Roderick, you're not dead. You're not dead yet. Your
Nope.
turn.
But I got the
Ouch.
wheelbarrow ready.
Am I prone at this point? I assume I'm prone. Like,
We'll say for purposes, you got launched backwards.
unless
And,
I landed into a crate
kinda
and
like-
it stood me
yeah,
up
kinda
or
like-
something.
Landed and rolled. I'm not going to make you use movement. It doesn't say it knocks you prone, so I'm not going to make you use movement for that. Logically, yeah, you would probably be prone and standing.
I'm going to choose to believe that I cartoon-like flew backwards into a crate, cratered into the crate, and I landed on my feet.
Just full Dragon Ball Z into a cliff face style.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. Done. So, all right, you're up.
Did that dude, was he able to get another zone away from me? Is he still in the adjacent zone?
No, he looks like he's trying to run away.
Okay.
He did not have another because Eric called it out the right way because he did have to move into your zone to throw that without taking this even worse of a chance. At which point he definitely would have failed. He is only one zone away because he used his move and his action.
How much cover is there for me to take between me and Mordecai? Because I'm taking cover
Good idea.
from Mordecai.
Not a lot. So if you remember, Mordecai and you both were starting to reach the storage spaces of crates, and you had talked about like climbing up to get a little bit of a vantage point. Mordecai is on a crate right now from last time, I believe it is. Mordecai, you had climbed up on a crate to look down your scope, right?
You did.
Great
No,
question,
I
dude.
don't think he was. I
Here's
thought he was like
where you are. You are short enough of the storage of goods. You're about from where you two were in my head by that. You would have been right on the outskirts. So you're one zone away from getting into the crates in a big way. And then you'll have more cover from Mordecai as long as you duck behind crates.
I do remember that we were not next to each other, though, because he
No.
chose to kind
Yeah.
of go,
We were
You
a
did one
couple
of
zones
these.
Yeah.
apart.
we
You'd
diverged.
spread out,
right?
yeah. So Roderick, if you move another zone closer to the ships, you will be in like the ability to have cover with the crates.
Right, but I
we'll say
won't be
that
able to take cover unless I use my action, though, right? So,
Correct.
all right.
You have a choice to make, unfortunately.
I do.
So I have a question.
Sure.
I have a silencer. It would
Mhm.
still make a little bit of noise, but we're in more or less sort of a busy area.
Super industrial, busy area, yes.
I'm a couple zones over.
Mhm.
It's loud. He probably didn't hear the gun go off. He happened to sneeze because the Emperor tickled his nose. Does he even know I shot at him?
It's a very good question.
Well,
We did
the way
not
you
resolve this.
Yeah, we did. The way that we explained it was it basically grazed straight past my head. So I know I felt the heat from that
Okay.
bullet. That
And I would add also, Mordecai, you did just say mentally to everyone, oh shit, I don't have control of myself.
Yeah.
So then yes, I will say yes, he does know it was from you.
100%. Dude's adjacent. I don't have any cover in my current zone.
No.
That dude's got a fucking chain axe though.
What cover would have existed in the zone you were in? So when the blasting charge went off and detonated and kind of like made that light crater and then also blew away things and exploded you into the crates, whatever little bit of cover you had in the area that would constitute your zone is gone.
Is there any cover in a zone closer to the lift? How far away from the lift am I?
So you guys had walked from the lift for a bit of time. You are not close to the lift. You are about 4 to 5 zones. I'll say 5 zones away. And in between you and there are, I mean, there's like you could try to take cover behind a truck, or you could dive into the crowd to try to take cover at this point.
I'm not
But
above
there's
that.
not, yeah, there's not
Respect.
hard cover. So in terms of what kind of cover there is, you have the ability to take cover with other living flesh. There's no real good hard cover like crates or trucks or pillars between you and there. Not close enough for you to reach.
Well, here's where I'm at. If I feel like moving closer to the lifts into the fleshy mobs would make it a little bit harder for Mordecai to hit me if he has to take another shot at me, I'm going to do that. But after I
Okay.
take a pot shot at this fucker who just threw it.
Okay, so before you
Detonator
take
at
the
me.
pot shot, keep in mind that the crowds behind you, you just had an explosive go off at your feet. They are running. Everyone is running and milling and trying to get away from this. There's a little bit of chaos and confusion. If you move into that zone with the crowd that is actively trying to leave you, the crowd is going to act at essentially, we're going to call it initiative 10, just so I can keep them on an initiative order. They are actively, and you can tell, moving away from the blast. So if you only move into that space, they will leave you because they will move faster than you.
I guess I'm not following, but I'm going to shoot him. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot him.
All right.
They have
Hell
they
yeah.
have a lead on you getting away,
Yeah.
so they would run faster than you would be able to catch up to them.
Think about it like this.
And that's assuming
The
they're all in a different zone than me right now. I assumed there were some in the zone I'm in. Otherwise, why would they be running so quickly? But it's fine.
No. So they are the zone that you're in. There were a couple other civilians. They are dead. I'm not even gonna. I know their hit point total. They did not make it. I also know they're actually. You know what? We should test their ability to dodge. Okay, surprisingly, one of them passed their athletics test to dodge. So one of them is bleeding profusely at your feet. The other one is a matted splash of blood and ichor. So those two are dead, but the other's one zone away. Yeah, that happened, and they're running. What I was iterating was if you move into that zone with the crowd is going to act at the top of the initiative order, which would be initiative 10, and they would move before your turn, is what I'm saying.
I hear you. I want to shoot him. I don't
Okay.
care.
Give me that shot. Let's go.
First time shooting a gun as Roderick. Cool. This should be fun.
Love that. This is going to be great. So he is one zone away. So he is at medium range.
Yep.
What weapon are you? What weapon do you have again?
I have 2 laser pistols.
I'm not sorry that I threw a pipe bomb at your feet anymore.
I felt
Yes.
Do you mean
felt
a
bad
pit
for a
bomb?
half second?
However, I'm only going to pull one of them for the moment, and I would like to use burst fire.
Oh,
To
okay.
add,
All right.
So
Nice.
using burst fire, I will add +1 success level to a range test, and then I reduce my actual ammunition in the weapon by 1.
Correct. Yep. Correct.
And question, does he have 1 superiority from the telepathic link, or is that...
So That's a good question. Your telepathic link doesn't allow him to lose a superiority. And
It says we basically always have a minimum of 1.
yeah. That being said, hold tight. So you did not take a critical wound. However, you were taken by surprise and a sudden change in the battlefield. So what I would say is that I guess you'd still have 1 because your psychic link doesn't allow you to not have 1, but that is all you have is 1 superiority.
Superiority says, it's telepathic link specifically says your superiority cannot be less than 1.
Right. I remember that. That's a good caveat you called out to me before. I remember that. So even though you would have lost superiority, you will remain at 1.
Okay.
So first shot, Roderick, what do we got? Burst fire.
Yep, I'm just checking something, unless Eric, off top of mind. Burst fire doesn't specifically say I can't shoot with my offhand weapon after, but I can't remember where the offhand weapon rules are.
As far as I know, you could. All it really is, you just basically spend an ammo. It doesn't say you can't do it, I don't think.
All right, so
The
I'm
offhand
offhand both of them.
Okay.
I think you could burst fire with both of them.
You
in theory.
theoretically could burst fire with both of them, yeah.
Well,
But you'll suffer. You're going to suffer the negatives of you using 2 weapons. So,
I don't remember what that is. That's what I was looking for. But
okay, I got you. Let me go grab them.
I think it's a
negative to
minus
this.
20.
Yeah, it's a difficult. I think it makes it a difficult or a hard check.
Yeah.
So first things first, let's start with your main hand. How did that go? And Eric, if you can rules lawyer that up really quick and cross-reference for me.
not
looking,
great.
yeah.
That's a 97. I'm gonna not burn, but spend some fate to reroll that.
All right.
That's a lot better. 38 out of. You said it's probably a negative 10 on my ranged attack.
No, you're at medium range. You don't have any disadvantage. It's a challenging +0 check right now.
Okay.
We're looking at
So
Eric's helping me look up the offhand while we wade through the main hand
so
right
that
now.
would be a +1 with my regular, so it's going to be +2 with my burst fire.
Okay, so +2, and you're going to shoot him. All right.
Yeah.
And what did you roll to? What was your roll to hit?
38.
Okay, so when you hit, let's run through this because we haven't fired a lot of guns. We're getting there. When you make an attack, you make that ranged attack piece right there, right? The first thing you do is you roll to see if you hit, and you did. So you know that a 38 is a success. You will hit the guy. That's beautiful. The next part is now we need to know where you hit on the body. So when you make the attack, you make the challenging +0 range test, which you did, and you use the units number on your die. So you rolled an 8, you're going to hit him in the body. That's an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
With your las pistol and a +2 success level, how did you do in terms of damage?
Oh, let's see. My trusty laser pistols do 5 damage. So
Okay.
It's never going to get old.
So the las pistols do 5 damage. Now, you had a +2 success level, so that means that, and he's turned his back to you as part of his, so he does not get a chance to dodge or in any way. So you're going to deal...
Both attacks are made with disadvantage.
Both attacks are made with disadvantage if you use both weapons. So Roderick,
well, then I will.
Yes.
Then
we're going to use the 1. We're going to use the 1. The las pistol bolt cracks. You have a standard issue Munitorum las pistol. Oftentimes, the las bolts are red. Sometimes they're green. Yours are red. So the red bolt flies out of the end of the las pistol, strikes him in the back. You see as it passes through the cloak, hits him, and he kind of stumbles forward as it hits. You said it'll be a total of 7 damage, correct?
Yeah, 5 plus my success levels. So, yep.
Okay, noted.
Did you use your superiority? I was not listening.
I did not.
missed it
No.
if you did.
What does that even do? So just give me a +1 success level, or is
Yeah.
Yes.
all right?
Take
so
that.
You can
+6.
use it on the tests or the damage, I think.
Okay.
Basically one test. You can use it on.
All right, so the las bolt cracks into him. You see as he kind of jolts forward and steps, there's a smoking hole in the back of his cloak. He doesn't... You've shot people with las pistols once or twice in your life. They normally go falling straight on their face. He does not.
All right. Well, I don't love that. I'm going to start limping into the next zone over, toward
Okay.
the lift, not toward the dude I just shot who didn't even basically move.
You begin to limp your way into the crowd. Noted. All right, Mordecai, you're up. Now,
Am I, though?
Yes, well, you are, but are you in control is the real question. So, as Roderick begins to limp into the crowd.
Do I need to roll?
Not yet. You roll at the end of your turn.
Oh,
That being said, Mordecai, what equipment do you carry besides your sniper rifle?
I have a shoddy set of survival gear.
Okay.
I have a couple of knives.
Okay.
I have a backpack.
Okay.
A Vox bead, a chrono, magnoculars, and a pick recorder.
All right. So you don't have.
I have no explosives.
You have nothing that goes boom, unfortunately,
No.
for me.
I used my smoke grenade a couple episodes ago.
Okay. And your pick recorder, to throw back many, many sessions, is basically strapped to your chest, running permanently like a body cam.
Body cam, yeah.
Okay. Here's what you're going to do for your action. You are going to take the pick recorder off your chest, and you are going to set it on the ground. And then you are going running towards Roderick.
I don't want to do what you said.
You're going to
But
do
I
it.
guess
You don't have a choice,
So,
unfortunately.
as this is happening, my
Yep.
body is doing. So I have a question about how this is working.
Yeah,
Is my mind in my control, but my body is not?
correct. You 100. So to throw back to last time, you 100% are aware that someone is
okay.
in your head.
I just want to make sure I'm in control of my thoughts at this point. So
You're in control of your thoughts, but nothing else. Not your mouth, not your vocalizations, no
But
physical movement.
if I can think, I can telecommunicate. So I will do that. That my body, I am completely out of control of my body. I can't do anything about it. So I'm just relaying that to my friends here. Like, something's in my brain and I cannot control myself. And then I
Basically,
guess
the
I'll,
lyrics to the R. Kelly song.
and never mind, I'm not going there.
Probably a good call.
Yeah. So then I will say that, and I will do as you make me.
Okay.
I will also point out, Mordecai, if needed, you can always burn a fate to pass your psychic test.
That's probably what's coming
Mordecai,
up
there's
next.
a change to this. You are going to take the camera off your chest and set it down. However, the next command in your head is, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this.
Yeah, I'll do it, man. You're gonna shoot me with my own gun. I get it.
No, they can't force you to shoot yourself.
Oh, well, that's too bad for them.
So they make you drop the camera.
Okay.
No, yeah, they're gonna have you chase after Roderick. That's what happens. So camera's dropped. You run into the crowd after Roderick and move 2 zones closer. You are now 1 zone away from Roderick. Make a willpower test. It's going to be that hard -20 discipline psychic test again.
I've been thinking about this since my last turn, and I'm still kind of unsure. But I think I am gonna burn the fate, and I'm gonna roll a 2. I'm gonna roll a 1. Why wouldn't I? Yeah.
You can also do it after you roll the test.
You
Yeah,
can,
that's
you
true.
can roll first. I would actually, thank you, Eric. I was going to recommend the same.
That's a 68. So I will use the fate in the name
Okay.
in the name of the Emperor.
The
I'm
Emperor.
going to roll a 1
Okay.
and will myself out of this.
All right. So for the Emperor, you shake the shackles around your brain. You feel the claws recede. And you, as you rush off into the crowd and you make that happen, you are no longer dominated.
Okay.
Mordecai, before we jump to Quentin, because these two are kind of happening simultaneously, give me a...
I only have 1 fate point left. That's not...
Give me a challenging
Comfy.
+0 perception check, please. Awareness sight.
Awareness sight.
Yep, which is perception based.
That's a +3.
+3. You see as you look back to where you set your picture quarter, and you watch as it picks up into the air almost and is gone. So you kind of see it lift off the ground for a half second, and then you lose sight of it.
Okay.
Quentin, you're up.
I'm purging.
Can you purge downwind of me? Is that a thing?
I'll move one zone ahead and then purge.
Motherfucker.
Cute Disney.
Projectile vomit all over.
Cute Disney getting really mad at us. Now all I have in my head is that Quentin's theme song is Pumbaa's song about farting downwind, but it's purging downwind. And it hurts when my friends never stand downwind.
All right. So I got a +2 on my thing, so I'll be down to 4, which is enough.
Okay.
What I wanted to do, but I also need to go check this.
Yeah, how'd you roll?
Be 45 +2, since I assume where this is not an easy purgation.
No, sir.
So that's going to be 45. So it's going to be 65.
Okay. Psychic phenomena, because you did succeed.
Yep. Gravity reverses itself for a few seconds.
Jesus.
For a few seconds, like people are gonna be how oh man, that's not gonna be good.
How much continuous space?
Thankfully, you're not in the same zone as Dmitry at this point because you are moving. But I need you to please make for me your own necessary challenging +0 reflex acrobatics check.
Oh, that's actually good. Jeez. Reflexes. Oh, that's a +2. I actually got a 12. I rolled a 12 out of it. So,
You're
So
kind of unpleasant for your friends.
I rolled two. I rolled
I'm good,
two D10.
man.
I rolled 2 sets of D10, D100, I should say, to see what would happen. And I broke out the crowd as the left side of the road and the right side of the road just to make it easy. They all massively failed. So what you see, Dmitry, is you watch as over a dozen souls, with how crowded it is, we'll say there's probably more like 3 dozen, like 30 people, get launched into the air 10 meters. And you just see as they go, and then they fall straight to the ground. Every one of them immediately suffers 10 wounds.
It's literally raining men.
Hallelujah.
The Great Crump, as it will be known in ages.
Okay, I need to make a note of this. So 30
Wow.
citizens.
Dude,
God
should have
damn.
saved that for being next to the enemy.
That's awesome.
really one of the funnier ones.
The corpses become difficult terrain. Watch.
Actually, I need to check. I think that might be the wound total of a standard Imperial citizen.
Yeah, I mean, some
I
of
just
them are
killed
probably
30
going to
people.
break their necks or something, so...
I'm gonna check really quick if it's 10 or if it's 12 for a standard citizen, just because. Okay, no. I'm gonna use the Manufactorum Laborer stat block, and they have 12 wounds. So they all.
Oh my god, they're barely alive.
They all crump to the
Yeah.
ground, and you're watching as these people are like bloody and battered and begin to scream, and someone just yells out, "Psyker! Psyker!" Okay.
And you're the only one that you should probably go.
No,
but-
gravity still affected me. I just landed fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I
he,
got you.
he got
I got
launched in the
you.
air too, but he did the Mary Poppins like.
You came
Running
down like
land.
a kitty cat.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, Dmitry, you have watched as 30 people have been blasted up 10 meters in the air and crashed, and literally, as Mordecai says, rained around you. It's your turn.
Oh, fuck. I'm going to run. Athletics check?
Athletics
Because
check.
we're just going to the lift at this point, right?
Yep. You guys
Yep.
just racing to the left. So give me that routine plus 20 athletics, please.
14 on the die, so you said plus 20?
Yep.
4 success levels.
4 success levels. So you actually race through these crowds, and you get to the point where you are just outside where all these bodies are falling. You like pull up right as the bodies begin to fall around you. You are not going to be impacted by the gravity because you'll pull up one zone short. but you make your way through the crowd just fine. At this point, people are fleeing in every direction, trying to get away from whatever is going on here. Okay. Top of the round, Roderick. You shot this man in the back.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Okay.
Respect.
And then you ran one zone away, correct?
Stumbled because that was a lot of wounds I just took.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm probably like holding my rib cage going, what the fuck?
Yep, probably are. And you're probably going to be saying, what the fuck again?
Oh.
As I expected.
All right. He is going to not move closer, but he will. Throwing a weapon or shooting from outside of your range imposes disadvantage, correct?
I believe
Yeah.
so, yes.
I want to double check that. I can't remember if it's disadvantage or just -10. It's one of the two.
I believe it's disadvantage.
I'm checking right now because it's super important that I have this right. All right, ranged attacks. Yep, anything beyond your weapon's range imposes disadvantage.
Unless you're an NPC and then you just can't do it. Sorry, man.
He's gonna try it. He's gonna try it. He pulls a frag grenade and he goes to chuck it.
This guy.
Oh no. Well, good thing he's got disadvantage. He pulls the frag grenade, and as he goes to throw it at you, Roderick, you kind of like glance over your shoulders, you're stumbling in the crowd, and you see as he takes the grenade, pulls the pin, and it slips out of his hand. He goes, at his own feet.
Yes.
What a
yeah.
fucking putz.
Yes.
He
That's
has
awesome.
frag grenades
Full-blown
have
fumble.
I rolled an 88. So frag grenades have the
Yes.
unstable quality. So since he fumbled, it blows up on him.
What a dork.
He's okay. He's out of grenades now too. So
He's out of nads, too.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, the way he
Who's
just like
dong on him?
didn't react to my shot, he's probably still fine.
he is standing there. Roderick, go ahead and at this point give me a routine +20 awareness sight, please.
Homie had an augmetic for sure.
I mean, I passed. It's a 5. It's like +6,
Good enough.
+7. I don't know.
So at this point, his cloak is basically burning away with the grenade blowing up at his feet. It's like almost like it's singed in areas and smoking. You can see through it as you're stumbling into the crowd. You look back. You have already seen the one chain axe. Now, as his cloak is blown back and just frayed, you see that there's a second chain axe. You see
We
that
need to
under
get
the
those.
cloak is dark black armor, lined and highlighted in red and silvers. There is a skull motif, but it hurts your eyes to look at. And he just looks to you as he's standing there, the grenade having gone off at his own feet, and he just snorts. And as he does, it almost looks like steam comes out of his nose slightly, and he turns and begins walking towards his own ship. Unless you or Mordecai intend to pursue, I'm going to let initiative end at this point.
Double chain axe invulnerable guy. Your call, man. I'll back your play.
So, I just got a couple questions.
What are the guards
'cause we've-
doing?
That's my
we're gonna
question,
get there.
because we're causing a lot of ruckus here
Yep,
with some
we're about to get there.
explosives. So, yes, what Quentin said.
So I'm not going to make y'all roll. Klaxons, which are an alarm, are blaring everywhere. People are screaming.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot at him.
Okay. Make that
Fuck 'em.
shot.
I support
He
this
is-
decision.
Anything I can do.
From you, it doesn't matter. You have a sniper rifle. He's in range. Never mind. Sniper rifles are
You know
good
what?
to like extreme range or long range, one of the two.
Yeah,
Extreme.
they're extreme. And you know what? This is also for the Emperor. I'm going to
Oh,
shoot him in
shit.
the head.
Yeah,
goes
you're
down.
going to use your last fate point?
Yeah, screw this
Yeah.
guy, dude. Just
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
So let me just make
Keyhole.
sure.
That fuck.
Mordecai's my hero.
And then we're gonna find this psyker.
Choose the number instead, allowing you to succeed in the most. You can even choose.
Or I'm gonna die trying. You know, that could happen.
One of the two.
So, just do a little.
Let me. So I can roll first, and then
You can
do
roll
the,
first for the shot, and then you can do the for the Emperor if you wish at that point to burn it.
okay. I mean that still hits, but it doesn't hit quite as well as I want it to. Yeah, I'm gonna do that for the Emperor, and I'm gonna make that shot an 11.
Attaboy, so automatically
Hell
critically
yeah.
striking.
Yeah, for +3 success levels plus superiority.
Okay. So you are going to roll the 11, which means you are going to succeed with a critical. Now, we talked about this a little bit after last session. Criticals
And I
actually
would-
resolve after the damage is dealt now. So that's a big
That's fine.
clarification.
I want him to get shot in the head with this 11, and that's 4 success levels.
So for the Emperor, you can choose the result of your die,
Mm-hmm.
and you... Okay.
If you cause a critical hit, you can use this effect to choose the hit
Yeah.
location struck
at it
rather
right
than
now.
randomizing
Okay,
it.
so
Right
we're doing
in the
a-
back
we're doing
of
a
his
headshot.
cranium.
We're doing a headshot. How much damage did you do?
1 sec. That's 8 plus 4 success levels, 12 damage.
Okay,
Ask
and I have-
with this dude walking away, and I don't know if he
Not
has like a
watching
psychic
us?
link or anything with his psyker, but does he know he's getting shot by a sniper rifle from like 10 away? Or from 6 away or whatever?
I can't tell anything about that at this point.
Fine.
I can neither
Gunshots are
confirm
generally a
nor
surprise if it's
deny.
the first one.
Yeah, I mean he's tossed 2 explosives at you. I will also add that like mechanically he's aware you guys are still kind of there. Like he's not just completely unaware of this situation.
I've also used all my fate before the main battle, so I am gonna die, but that's okay, guys.
All right, so Mordecai, you said you did 12 wounds of damage.
Yes, to his head.
Now what I need you to do, with 12 wounds of damage, you do not exceed his wound total. So you do not get a bonus, but I do need you to roll that d10, and let's
Okay.
find out what you do to him for a critical.
That's an 8.
All right, major ear wound. So as you aim down that sight and you pull the trigger, the bullet flies. The entire right of his head rips away. Ear's gone. There's just a bloody hole where it was. He gains permanent damage to his eardrum and is deafened at this time. He can fix it, but if it happens again, his hearing is permanently lost.
Mordecai, did you
Apostle
add
Peter.
your superiority to that? Just
Yeah, so it was 3 success levels plus 1 for the superiority.
checking.
Okay, so 3 success levels plus the gun plus the superiority brought you to 12.
Yeah.
Okay. You watch as this bullet crashes into his head. He stumbles forward, hits the ground on all fours, and just is bleeding profusely as he's trying to stand up. All right. Any movement?
I'm gonna take this time to put my weapon under my cloak, and I'm going to turn and start booking.
Okay. So to hide your
He
to
bitch
hide-
shot him?
to hide your weapon would be, in my mind, the way your armor and your cloak are. To hide your weapon would take you in action. What I'll let you do is you can use your movement to hide your gun rather than leaving your zone. It'd be a little
disagree, but
difficult for
okay.
you to fire the gun
That's fine.
and then be hiding it.
Not
all-
when I'm basically a ninja. Stuck, turn, run, but that's okay. I'll do that. I'm gonna put my gun
I
away.
gotta have some limitations here to have some
That's
idea
okay.
of how things
I'm-
are happening.
I'll put my gun away.
Okay.
If that is going to take my action, I am not going to turn around. Then I'm going to maintain sight.
Well, no, your action was your shot. I'm saying I'll let you use your movement to hide
Oh
your
yeah,
gun
yeah, yeah,
instead.
yeah. So if I'm out of moving,
Yep.
I am not going to turn around. Then I'm going to continue maintaining
Okay.
visual.
The
if that makes sense.
The stoic poise. Okay. All right. That brings us to Quentin and Dmitry. You guys are still, I'm assuming, still rushing to the lift.
Hauling ass to the
Yeah.
lift.
Let's just do this together since you guys are montaging it. Both y'all give me that athletics test.
What was it? Plus 20?
Plus 20. 2 successes.
-1.
Okay. So, Dmitry, you take off and you quickly and easily make it through the zones. You actually catch up to Quentin as he's like stumbling a little bit to make it forward. You guys are now in the same zone. All right. That will bring us to the top of the order.
I know. I should have left. Dude,
No,
I can't.
fuck him.
I'm mad at these guys. They need to be spanked, man.
Eh, I'm not mad if I die.
I just want to get there. I feel left out. You guys here?
I wish you were here. Really do.
I want to shoot my gun.
And this is why we always split the party. So much fun.
When in doubt, split the party.
When in doubt, split it out.
Mordecai, here's what I would like for you to do for me,
Okay.
please. Please give me a routine plus 20 discipline psychic test.
Routine plus 20, discipline psychic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's actually very good, surprisingly.
Okay, this is an opposed test, so you do need to beat the
disciplines.
other person.
It's 40. That's plus 3.
Okay, I'm at plus 5.
Well, of course you are.
Sorry, buddy. So here's what's going to happen. Mordecai,
Yeah.
the last hour of your life is erased. You don't remember how you got to the Mudgate. You don't remember shooting Roderick. You don't remember shooting the guy who ran away from you. You don't remember leaving your picture quarter. You don't remember the bar and the bar fight. The last thing you remember is
starting
walking.
at the bar. I remember nothing.
The last thing you remember is walking into the bar. You walk into a bar and suddenly you are at the Mudgate looking at these ships and you remember nothing in between.
Glorious.
Okay.
It's kind of like my character just became the player.
All right.
I didn't take notes at all.
Well, here's the problem is they are definitively well and above their psychic charge at this point because that put them above.
Oh my god.
Detonate.
It's exactly what's
Can
happening.
they control it?
I need to find out
They have
right
to
now.
control it first.
Yeah, I need to find out if they can control it.
Abort.
Hell yeah.
So they didn't push. I didn't
They felt
expect.
pretty
I didn't
pushy to
expect to
me.
exceed it. I need to figure out what do I. Quentin, you know this. What do I roll to make sure that they?
Basically, you have to roll to make sure that you can maintain your warp within you. It's a challenging +0 psychic mastery test.
Okay, what page is that on?
If 166.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's why I'm a page before that. I'm like looking at the table, going, "Where is this?" All right, Perils of the Warp. Routine. Okay, if you fail this test, the power of the warp floods through you in the raw, unconstrained horror.
Jesus.
They're going to choose to fail.
Oh my god.
Oh.
They're not trying to contain the warp.
They're throwing a fist of metal, huh?
Also, if they immediately lose, if they fail it, if there's anything they're sustaining is lost.
Oh, that's a good call out. No, then they are going to try to hold it. They would know that. They're going to try to hold it. Okay. So they do hold it. However, they are at a nice...
Be a lot cooler if they didn't.
Yeah, but they need to live. They need to live.
Do they?
Nah, they don't.
All right.
I feel like Quentin needs to work on his delivery, the timing.
Quentin,
the
your
rules
warp
are-
charges are 4, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so they're at 2, 5, 8. I think they're at 4. I think they're at 13 right now. Just double checking one other thing. Oh, they're only at 11. Okay, so they're at 11. They're gonna purgate right where they are.
Can they? She just used a spell. She can't do it as an action.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. She's not going to purgate, but she does maintain the warp, and that's all you see. Moving on. That brings us to Roderick, you're up.
I kill the psyker immediately, wherever they are.
Okay.
I love it, dude. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Did it work? Did I win? No?
You won.
Okay.
You won.
High score.
So dude got shot in the head and is way far away from you, right? Like,
Dude got shot in the head is the equivalent of 3 zones from you at this point. You moved a zone away. So he hucked the frag grenade, and you were 2 zones away. He failed, dropped at his feet. He then moved a zone away, got shot by Mordecai. So he's 3 zones from you, trying to get to his ship, bleeding everywhere.
all right. I'm gonna pull both my pistols out, turn around, just because I like. So I'm stumbling away, right? I'm like, oh fuck, that was a lot, and I'm just gonna be like, what am I doing? I'm just gonna pull both my pistols out, turn around, and just pot shot at him. I don't see if I hit him. It's fine.
All right, so you are at extreme range with las pistols, which have a range of medium, I think.
Yeah, I think it's medium.
So you're 2 zones away. So you're going to have automatic disadvantage for using 2 weapons.
I'll already have disadvantage for using 2 weapons, and then the range thing. I don't know how that works. If there's like additional penalties, but
Well, I'm going to amend your test because you're basically making your life really hard.
it's fine.
I will say in this game system, they do additively add disadvantages.
Okay, that's fine.
They can, yeah. So I could make you basically have double disadvantage.
I don't even know how that works, but carry on.
So you roll
Yeah, you
twice and
actually
take
gives-
the worst
no,
of the both
You get
rolls.
disadvantage, and then actually just makes the test harder.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
it gives you like a minus 10.
So that's what I mean by I apologize. I used double disadvantage. What we're going to say is that because of how far away you are, which would have made it disadvantaged, and you're using 2 weapons, which also makes it disadvantaged.
So it's
going to
disadvantage
be-
minus 10.
You're at 3 zones away. We're going to make it negative 20.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not
You're-
expecting most of these to hit. I just want him to know that if he turns around, I'm here to shoot him. It's fine.
Yep.
That is a 91, and
Okay. So a 91.
that'll be, well, it's 57, but a 75 because it's disadvantage. So,
Bolts just go wide. But
yep, that's fine.
klaxons are screaming at this point. Extremely loud.
Yep. And
now
then
at initiative-
I'm going to move further toward the lift and
Okay.
holster my pistols again.
All right. So also at initiative order 8, a familiar voice calls out and goes, "Hi. Hi." I don't remember Petronilla's voice, so I apologize. You all recognize the voice of Petronilla. You hear Roderick, you hear her go, "Roderick Wrangler." Oh,
Petronilla.
and she's jogging up.
anywhere.
She's jogging up with 5 Makarian Vigilites.
Yeah, see that fucker down there? Might want to stop him. Oh, I just took a blasting cap to the legs.
She takes one look at your wounds and says, and points at one of her guys and says, "You treat him. You are under detainment at this point, Roderick." And she
Fair
takes
enough.
3 more and begins heading off that way. So she's going to try to head towards the guy as well. Okay. All right, Roderick, that is your turn. Mordecai, you're up.
I'm gonna look down at my feet. I'm gonna look at the sky. I'm gonna look around a little bit. What is happening here? I am so confused. I don't know what I would do in this situation. I guess I would. I look around. I see a bit of a commotion, right? Kind of. What am
You
I
do.
seeing around me?
Give me a challenging +0 awareness sight test. And I want to get off awareness sight, but you guys are trying to take everything in right now.
I would like to
Oh,
say
that was
something
a-
about this power.
Sure.
It's very obvious because this is something that would very glaringly happen.
Yeah.
They don't realize it's missing until something highlights its absence. This is, of course, I assume he immediately knows that his memory's gone.
The thing is, so what highlights his absence is he's now standing in the mud gate and has no idea how he got there.
Yeah, I would
It
assume
was a
if the
blatant.
last.
It wasn't like removing something that wouldn't be noticed right away. It's like literally he just blacked out for an hour and doesn't know how he got where he is.
I
She
walked
took-
into a bar and now I'm standing in the mud gate.
She ripped the whole 60 minutes.
Well, I know that, but I'm guessing as to what power this was, and I'm thinking there's a caveat to say he wouldn't even be aware that it's happened until something glaringly obviously points it out.
Right. So he's not. That's exactly correct. He's not sure that the memories are missing. What we're doing right now is he's just going, how the hell did I get here?
I mean, a sky suddenly appeared.
I guess
This would point out that
I guess that does
this
make
is
it
very
glaringly obvious that you're missing an hour of your life. Yeah, that's a good point.
exactly that's what I'm pointing out. It's like he would know his memory's gone because if this is a glaringly obvious case of it's gone.
Yeah.
If I blacked out right now and woke up like in Pittsburgh, I'm pretty sure I'd fucking know that something's wrong.
Yeah.
You'd probably look at me and say, "What did you do to me?"
Yeah,
would.
he'd be real close to
And
you.
I would have to find the bottle of
Never
whiskey
mind.
that we cleared the night before. Jesus, Alex.
No, I was gonna make a joke about a city, and then we've done that before. I'm just gonna let it go. So
You won't
Anyway.
believe. You're not going to believe that city has come up in standard conversation this week, and I don't know why. All right, so
Shit stinks, bro.
So I rolled a 3. So
Okay.
I am very lucid right now, sir.
Yeah.
What am I
So-
seeing?
You see as Roderick is bleeding from multiple wounds. Roderick, do you want to describe what you look like after quite literally having an explosive go off at your feet?
Yeah, sure. So usually I have, we'll call it a little shoddy but clean uniform underneath my black trench coat. I have my black trench coat off at this point. It's slung over my shoulder, and my dress blues are just riddled with holes and shrapnel. I am looking pretty rough. I have a new cut probably hanging out somewhere in my scruff, blending in with all my other scars. Yeah,
Now he's surrounded by Vigilites, right?
Correct.
I'm
you see
making myself
he's got a
useful
Vigilite
to
kneeling
them
over him.
at this point.
He's got a Vigilite kneeling over him, and you see Petronilla, who you do remember, because that's outside the hour, moving towards a ship with a few others.
I am going to, with my psychic link, I'd assume that I'd try, even if I don't know if it's there or not.
You know it's there. I mean, we did it over an hour ago.
Yeah.
Right. I, assuming it's still there, you know. Roderick, what has happened to you? And as I say that, I'm not gonna walk towards him because I don't know why the Vigilites are there,
Okay.
and I'm super confused. So I'm gonna find kind of a space off to the side a little bit where I can kind of gain my composure a little bit.
Okay. Are you trying to hide yourself in any way?
Do I
No.
have time to respond to his query or nah?
As long as it's a sentence or less.
I think depending on what he says.
I'm curious what you want to say.
Did you not see your own gun shoot my head and an explosive go off?
Perfect. That's all you get out. Mordecai.
I'm
Uh,
just. What are you
give me-
talking about? Of course, I would not do that. As I'm kind of
Give me an
scooting off.
intuition surroundings, and it's going to be difficult -10.
Oh, the dice are actually liking me here. Intuition surroundings.
If you have
-10.
if you have the specialty of surroundings, otherwise just straight up intuition.
I do not intuition, so it's +2.
+2. You see as people are kind of moving away from you a bit, and one or two are kind of glancing at you a little bit strangely. You're very easily understanding that something that you don't remember doing or something about you is making them very nervous about you, and they're actively trying to get away from you.
You see me kind of backing up. You know that nervous backup where you're kind of looking around. I guess at that point I would try to tuck back behind something.
Okay. There's not a lot of things for cover in your area, but if you begin to move closer to the lift, you'll be able to find a place to kind of try to hide and use some
Yeah.
stealth there. Okay. So you
I would
begin to
do
make,
that because obviously it's apparent to me that I don't know what happened, but I was involved.
Alex might remember, but Mordecai doesn't.
Yeah.
All right. So you make your way one zone closer to the lift. Quentin and Dmitry, you are now trapped in Roderick's endless Monty Python running, trying to make it to the castle. I'm going to, at this point, I'm not going to make you guys keep rolling. You're just running. I'm just going to gloss over you unless there's something you want to do while you run.
Ooh. Keep running.
Okay. So, Mordecai and Roderick. Mordecai, as you make your way into the crowd to try to find a place to hide, Roderick, you have a vigilante who's kneeling over you, and he looks to you, and he's younger than you anyway, and he kind of looks you over and he says, right, I'm not really sure. And you see as he's trying to like look at how he should help you for treatment, he goes, you don't seem to be dying, so let's leave you for the Medicaid. And
yeah, I've got my own guy, don't worry about it. I'm just going to sit here for a minute.
He nods and he goes, well, unfortunately, I need you to stand and put your hands behind your back.
Oh, is that really necessary? I'll do it. Just give me a second.
And he does not give you a second. He lifts you.
All right. Oh, that fucking hurt. Thanks.
He doesn't cuff you behind your back. As he goes to do that, he takes one look at your wounds. He goes, throws cuffs on you in the front.
Appreciate that. Good bloke.
Mordecai.
Yeah.
You are in the crowd. You think that there's a space up ahead. There's some area where you can find some shadows to hide. You can duck in behind. You can just duck into the crowd, essentially, and try to blend in. You've gotten away from the people who saw you firing your gun and are blending into the crowd as a large. Go ahead and give me a stealth check. And I'm going to say you've got your cloak up and kind of thrown over you, right?
Oh, surely.
Take this at advantage.
Just a straight up stealth?
Straight up stealth.
Or I have move silent too, or...
You're not trying, so this is not a moving silent,
Yeah,
you're
I
trying to
gotcha.
blend.
Okay. At advantage?
At advantage, so if it's terrible roll, you can flip it.
Yeah, because it was a 92, so yeah, I'll take a 29.
All right.
That is a +3.
Okay. So Mordecai, you drift off into the crowd. Do you keep an eye on Roderick while you do so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Roderick, you are lifted to your feet. You are in cuffs. Dmitry and Quentin, as you reach the lift.
If I see him in cuffs, I mean, what have you done? Why are they arresting you?
Are you lost, Mordecai? We just got in a firefight.
I was in no firefight. That's probably all we have time for.
Yeah.
So as those comments are flying, Roderick has been lifted to his feet. You see as Petronilla and her 3 vigilantes that are with her are racing after these ships. Mordecai doesn't know what to look for, but Roderick, you do. You see as the ship actually takes off and leaves.
And there they fucking go.
Do I have
They gotta
time
be fast.
to?
Jeez.
Do I have time to reach in my cloak and I just want to touch the barrel of my sniper rifle. Is it
Sure.
hot?
I don't even know how long that would stay hot.
It'd be hot for at least. It's been less than a minute. Should have some warmth. Yeah.
It is.
True.
Yeah. So the manufactory of your silencer is of a quality where it disperses heat fairly quickly and fairly efficiently, so that you can hide it quickly, but it is still warm to the touch. Quentin, you are correct. It was fast. But if as a throwback to the last time Mordecai took a shot, if you remember, he pumped a couple bullets into a couple folks who got onto the ship as the other 2 came after him.
I was thinking for the psyker to get away. 'Cause she was
Yeah. Well, we don't know
Far
that
away.
they did get away, honestly. They could still be here. We have no idea.
They could have. We have no idea where that psyker and
Yeah.
guy even are.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Wah,
know
wah.
what? We're going to find out next time on the Tainted Hive. Damn it. I love when you guys give me perfect segues to just throw that out there and make you go, damn it. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for listening. Please make sure to check out our website at deadsonsco.com for the latest news, social links. We've got extra content going up these days with some reviews of both Foundry and a few other pieces that are up there now. We've got other things coming out down the pipeline over the next few months. So make sure to head on over there and check us out. And if you like our content, please consider supporting us over at patreon.com/Dead Sons Company. And until next time, we're DSC. Thanks for listening.